Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today, well, as I'm recording this, is the first day of celebration, but you won't be watching this until tomorrow, the second day of celebration. But I'm so excited that celebration is finally here, which means two things. It means that you can finally shop and get celebration items for free now through the end of February. And the mini catalog is available for you to shop from as well. There's so much fun stuff that goes along with this. It also means I can show you the insides of these brochures now and catalogs, because we're not allowed to do that until it's live to the public. So if you want to learn more about celebration, then I suggest you join my Facebook group. I did a little video about it yesterday, just so that my people would be ready and know what celebration is all about. But basically, if you make a $50 purchase or more, then you can get free items from the celebration brochure. It's a very, very exciting time in this Stampin' Up! Calendar. So today, I wanted to share with you a couple of cards that you can make using a combination of new mini catalog items and celebration products. So let me switch cameras and we'll get started creating. Okay, so this first card is actually inspired by a card. I'm obsessed with this catalog, y'all. By a card in this catalog. It's on page 20 of the 2024 January to April mini catalog. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus on it a little bit better. It says wishing you peace. It doesn't seem to be focusing, but I'm not wearing my glasses, so maybe it is focused and I just can't tell. I did not get Hills of Tuscany stamp set, which is what's used here. So instead, I'm going to be using the Painted Lavender stamps and the Hexagon punch. So our punches lock, so to unlock, so that they'll store, flat. So to unlock it, just push that little latch down and then it opens right up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take this cardstock and I cut it long. It is 5 inches long. It's 2 3/4 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is just center it up in here. I'm going to poke it all the way through. I want it centered as good as I can get it, and I also want it all the way to where it stops inside. It looks pretty centered, so I'm going to punch that out. And then in a little while, I'll cut off some of the bottom of that. I also have a piece of 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch basic white cardstock. And the two ink colors I'm using for both of these cards, actually one of these cards only uses Gorgeous Grape, but this first one I'm using Gorgeous Grape and Pretty Peacock. So this lavender set, it's a stamp set, and of course it has coordinating dies, and then there's gorgeous Painted Lavender designer series paper to go along with it. So I'm inking up my stamp, and then I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp the bottom of my cardstock, and I'm just doing that twice. Then I'm going to take this little stamp here. I'm going to ink it up, stamp off, and stamp. You can also, instead of stamping off, you can just stamp a few times. So you have different there we go. And then I also have the butterfly stamp, and I'm only going to ink up this one. So then I'm going to just stamp that one butterfly stamp over the rest of them, and I didn't stamp off for that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my microfiber cloth that is a little damp on one side. It's mostly dry, so I'm just going to wipe that ink off of this glass mat. And then this set is from Sale-a-bration. This one is free with a $100 purchase. So, for instance, if you were to purchase the Heartfelt Hexagon Bundle, which is this one here, the Painted Lavender Bundle, which is the one I just showed you with the die set and the stamp set, the Lavender Designer Series paper, and where are they? These beautiful purple lavender, purple fine shimmer gems. These are so pretty. I love purple. Purple is my favorite color. So if you purchase all of those things, your total before tax and shipping would come to $105, which would give you enough to purchase a $100 item from, or not purchase, but to get for free a $100 item from the Sale-a-bration catalog. So Softly Sophisticated is one of my favorite things from the Sale-a-bration catalog. You get this embossing folder, which we'll use on the other card, and the Softly Sophisticated stamp set. I'm going to use this Hello There stamp, and I'm going to emboss. So I'm stamping with my Versamark. This is just white embossing powder. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off the bottom of this. You could go ahead and cut this before you stamped if you wanted to, and before you punched. It's a little bit more difficult to do the punching, but it can be done. And to make it easier, you could attach a Post-it note to the end of this and then slip it into the punch, holding the Post-it note. Okay, so then I'm just going to take a little bit of this liquid glue and put it right around this frame. Just a smidge. Then I'm going to place it on here. I just want to make sure that everything is within the frame, with as much of the flowers showing as possible. So you can, I like using liquid glue. It gives you a little bit of time to move and adjust that to the height that you want it. So on the back side of this, up near the top, I'm going to put a strip of tear and tape. And then I'm going to use my baker's twine. This is just the white. And I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. I lost count. It's been a long day. You know, it's a long day whenever you lose count counting to 3. Okay, so then I'm going to take 18 inches of this ribbon. So it's 9 inches plus 9 inches, because it's 18 inches when it's straight, and then I double it over and cut it in half. And what I'm going to do is run this up under here and then just tie a bow. Okay, so this is a piece of that Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. And just so you know, it's all of our Designer Series paper is two-sided. And look at how gorgeous this side is. So this entire package of paper is, I wish I had my sample sheet ready to show you, but I got excited and I didn't get that done first. But it's all just gorgeous. So instead of using the busier side, I'm going to use the other side. There we go. And then I'm just going to use dimensionals on the back. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I like to use a lot of Stampin' dimensionals. Even on little pieces, I tend to overdo it. I always prefer to use too many rather than not enough. So, and you can see this isn't glued down very well. It's coming up a little bit, but that is perfectly okay. Usually when I record my videos, I remember to close my craft room door to keep the cat interference at bay. And this time, I had a call from my daughter right before I got started, and I forgot to go close the door. So, sorry about all of the disruptions there. He's a sweet boy, and he likes to be in the middle of everything. So there's the front of the card. For the inside, I'm just going to take that same stamp and you can stamp off or not. I'm going to stamp off and then just stamp along the bottom. Doing a not great job of stamping along the bottom. There we go. And then I'll take that purple, or not the purple one, I'm going to use Gorgeous Grapes it again. I'm going to take this other one, and I'm not going to stamp off this time. I'll stamp off as I'm stamping, but I like the way this gives it a little bit more dimension. So it looks like you have some plants up close and then some farther away. There we go. Okay, so front and the inside. So for this next card, I have a pretty peacock base again. I'm just going to set that to the side. And this is Highland Heather. And I'm going to use that Gorgeous Grape to stamp some flowers on it from the Painted Lavender stamp set. So for this card, I'll be using this stamp. I'm going to use the butterflies again. Can't go wrong with those. And I'm going to use this one here. there's those two stamps. So this is just a scrap piece of paper that I grabbed. It measures 4 1/4 by 3, and it seems to be just right for those stamps. So I'm going to use the die cut, the dies that coordinate with it here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and stamp a couple of these butterflies. And then on this piece, I'm going to stamp, I chose this sentiment. It says, "Sending you lots of love and hugs." And it's from that, so I put it in the wrong spot. It's from the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp set. I'm also using this little heart on the inside. So again, I just have a scrap of basic white paper. You just want it big enough that you can put it inside your hexagon punch. So I have a piece of Lost Lagoon. I was going to die cut on the screen, but I don't think that's going to be an option, especially with my buddy here beside me. But there's just not enough room. The camera is too close to use the big stamp cut and emboss machine. So I'm going to use that Softly Sophisticated embossing folder to emboss this piece of Lost Lagoon to go on the front of the card. Yes, it needs to be closed. Thank you. And that's what that looks like. Okay, and now I'm going to use the coordinating dies, and I'm going to cut out these 3 pieces that I stamped. I'm also going to be cutting out the butterflies, and I'm going to use this piece here, and I'm going to cut 3 of these. Okay, so with a little help from Tiger and a little movie magic, I've got those pieces all cut out, and we'll start assembling the card. Okay, so I'm starting actually with one of these pieces, and I'll put just a little bit of glue on the back. Okay, so for this one, I'm just putting one on the bottom and one on each side. I want it to not be any lumpier than it needs to be. And then I'm going to place this to where this dimensional is not on the flowers, the purple flowers, any more than necessary. I probably should have put those up a little bit higher, but that's okay. It works like that. And then this one I'm also going to use dimensionals on. And 2 should do. For this butterfly, I'm going to use a mini Stampin' Dimensional. If you don't have the mini dimensionals, you could also just cut a normal Stampin' Dimensional in half. Okay, so putting the butterflies down the little ones can be a little tricky, especially if you get the dropsies a lot like I do. So you can do it like I did with the Take Your Pick tool, or you can just go ahead and put your little dab of glue right on your cardstock there, and then place the butterfly on top of it. That works just fine as also. A little bit of glue on the back of the whole thing, and then just center it up. Just like so on the front of your card. For the inside of this one, I kept it very simple. And I just used a piece of basic white cardstock, the gorgeous grape ink, and the heart from Heartfelt Hexagon. So there's our second card using this combination. It's kind of an odd combination of products, but I really like the way that they all work together. And I love that you get that free stamp set and free embossing folder. Of course, if Softly Sophisticated is not your favorite thing in the Sale-a-bration brochure, then you can add two $50 free with a $50 purchase items, or pick a different $100 item, and it can be stacked. So the more you order, then the more you get to pick for free. Thank you so much for watching today. Sorry about the intruder that we had a little ways through there. He heard my husband come home and decided to go see what he was up to. So that's always good. All right, y'all. I hope you're having a wonderful first week of this new year. I hope that you're as excited about Sale-a-bration as I am. Reach out if you have any questions, and I will see you next week. Well, or you'll see me, hopefully, if you have subscribed to my channel. All right. Happy stamping.